Thanks for clicking on the video, and here today at Nerd Mimic, we are presenting Marvel Zombies. This is the Kickstarter exclusive promo box that contains over 80 miniatures, and we are going to go over every single one in 4K along with their associated cards. Now, this is going to be cool, not just to present to you guys, but also for me to learn about each character so I know which one I want to have my perfect team of 4 to run through each mission and campaign. So before we do so, I guess we should appreciate the cover art. So many characters here. I probably can't name them all, but you can see Nightcrawler here, got Firewoman here, Moon Knight, Winter Soldier. So a lot of these are going to be duplicated in the multiple other sets, but you might have, say, the hero version in one box, and this might contain the zombie hero version in this box. So there are going to be multiple duplicates. So they're not really missing out too much. However, it's cool to have the whole set. So on the side art, you can see more characters here, Daredevil. And on the top here, let's see, you got Bullseye here. On the side, Elektra on the opposite side of Daredevil. And on the bottom of the box, we have more characters. Wow, War Machine. Okay, so on the back of the box, it's going to display every single mini here. And once again, we'll go over every single one, so don't worry about that. And you can see that the Dark Phoenix here has a really cool translucent base and background to her. So that is very exciting to see. And you can see a list of components here. Once again, 43 superhero game pieces, 27 zombie hero pieces, and 9 bystanders. And once again, their associated cards. All right, so the only thing left to do is to unseal this box. So let's get this open. And while I do so, if you love board games like we do here on the channel, I have 4 board games giveaway going on right now. And so I'll put a link down below for that and check it out. And if you're watching this from the future, I'm sure we have another giveaway going on to promote the channel. And if you see what we like and present here, hopefully consider liking and subscribing and help this small fledgling channel grow to 1,000. So thank you for listening to that. And then we get the box open and we'll display every single mini individually. Okay, it's coming off. There we go. All right. Hey, so this is a very cool presentation. They always have a nice big cardboard box within. Now, the cool thing about this is they're actually pull tabs. The other boxes do not have that, so that makes it a little bit easier. Looks like it might bend and break, so I still might have to dump it out. All right. Okay, you can see the back of the box. It looks like it's going to have 3 different trays here and how they are organized, and the slots for the super big minis there. Okay, so let's see. This is open from the side. So it doesn't have a flip tab to open up like a tray like the others. So this has to be all slid out. That's gonna be a little bit harder to access. Okay, so that's tray number 1. Tray number 2. And tray number 3. Wow, that is a lot of miniatures. And already you can see these are really impressive in the center. All right, so what I'm gonna do is get these out of the plastic and display each one right now. We'll show off each miniature here with their associated player card and their draw card. And we will begin with the heroes, then we'll move on to zombie heroes and save the bystanders for last. So first up, we have Captain Marvel, and she has a wonderful sculpt here with her classic mohawk hairstyle here. And she has, of course, a dynamic base, as you can check out. She is a melee character with mighty punches, and her blue power is energy focus. Enemies suffer 1 minus toughness against your mighty punches attack. When attacking with mighty punches, you may spend 1 power to gain additional range. Yellow, of course, is additional action. Orange is Danvers special. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 power to move up to 2 zones, ignoring enemies into a zone containing enemies. Then perform 1 free Mighty Punches attack. And her ultimate ability is Binary Explosion. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free power action. Once during your turn, you may spend 4 power to eliminate all walkers and runners in your zone. So that is pretty powerful. Now her draw card is here, and she starts off with 4 health, and her ability is if a zombie hero enters a zone with a bystander, immediately place her in that zone. All zombie heroes will suffer 1 wound. So that's pretty powerful. Pretty cool. Next up, we have Deadpool, my daughter's favorite character. He is a melee character using dual katanas, of course, and his blue power is, yeah, I count as a hero. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 power to draw 1 heroic trait. Each time you eliminate 1 zombie hero, draw 1 heroic trait. Yellow is additional action. Orange is Merc with a mouth. Once during your turn, you may select 1 zone within 2 range. All enemies in that zone immediately activate and attempt to move to your location. And his red ability is I'm the greatest, baby. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free power-up action. You may reroll any misses. Each roll of 6 deals 2 hits to a single enemy. So that might work out pretty well. And his hero draw card, he has 4 health. And his ability is, unless he is being devoured, each time he is eliminated, spawn him on the first spawn point during the next end phase. So he just keeps on coming back. So that could be a pretty deadly threat to you. Next up, we have Captain America. He has a range attack with his vibranium shield. His blue ability is I can do this all day. Once during your turn, you may spend up to 1 power to perform 1 free move action or spend 3 power to heal 1 wound. So that's pretty helpful to actually heal. Yellow is 1 free action. Orange is Ricochet. Once during your turn, after attacking with Vibranium Shield, you may perform 1 free Vibranium Shield attack. And his red ability is Heroic Leader. Once during your turn, you may have 1 other superhero within 2 range to perform 2 free actions, then resume your turn. So that can be pretty helpful to chain link attacks. And his hero draw card, he has a health of 4, and his ability is troopers and guards activating within 1 range perform 1 additional action. So that could be pretty deadly if you're running your zombie mode. So up next, we have the Hulk, and this sculpt is really dynamic and cool. It's one of the larger sculpts here, and I like how his hand is gripping and crushing the steel beam. Really nice looking. Now, he is a melee character with an ability called Smash. His orange power is called Gamma Power. You have 5 health, so he will be hard to defeat because he could heal up instantly like that. Enemies suffer 1 minus toughness against your Smash attack. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is Thunderclap. When attacking with Smash, you may place your base dice with a die for each enemy in the zone before any bonuses, ignoring zombie heroes for this attack. And red abilities, Unlimited Rage. You get 1 free attack action at the start of each of your turns. You gain 1 power for each wound you have suffered. His hero draw card, he has 5 health, and his ability is can only be limited by Devour attack. So really incredible and powerful hero. Now on the opposite scale, we have Wasp. Now she is a ranged character with Wasp Sting. Her blue abilities exploit openings. You ignore priority targeting when attacking. Once during your turn, you may eliminate 1 walker or runner in your zone. Yellow is additional action. Orange is biosynthetic wings. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 action to perform 1 move action, moving up to 3 zones and ignoring enemies. And her red abilities flyby attack. Each time you enter or leave a zone, you may eliminate 1 walker, brute, or runner in that zone. Now her hero card, she has only 3 health. Her abilities, attacks against her zone always have accuracy 5+. So it's hard to hit her because you're gonna roll 5 or higher. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we have Iron Man himself, and he is a range ability with Repulsor attack. His blue ability is called Missile Barrage. When attacking with Repulsor, you may spend 1 power to replace your base dice with 1 dice for each enemy in a zone before any bonuses, ignoring zombie heroes for this attack. Yellow is additional action. Orange is evasive maneuvers. Before completing any attack that eliminates at least one enemy, he may perform one free move action ignoring enemies. And his red ability is Friday AI. Once during your turn, you may perform one free move or attack action. I'm not sure that's that strong. Anyways, his hero draw card is with 4 health, and his ability is can attack from 2 zones away. So almost like Cyclops, a pretty strong attack from range. If his zone is attacked, but he is not eliminated, move him 1 zone away, and the attacker suffers 1 wound. So he is definitely a deadly hero to encounter when you're running zombie mode. Up next is his buddy War Machine, and this sculpt is really nice. I like how dynamic this is. He is a ranged character, of course, and his ability is called Armory. His blue ability is Gatling Gun. When attacking with Armory, for each roll of 6, roll 1 additional dice. These dice may generate additional dice, so that's really powerful right at the get-go. Now, yellow is additional action. Orange is rocket launcher. When attacking with armor, you may replace your base dice with 1 die for each enemy in a zone before any bonuses, ignoring zombie heroes for this attack. And red ability is Seeker Missile. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free armor attack targeting any 1 zone in the board. This attack may eliminate only 1 enemy in order's target priority. So already I think he actually might be more useful in the game than Iron Man. Now his hero draw card, he has 4 health, and his ability is if there are zombie heroes in line of sight, when he activates, roll a die. On 5+, they suffer 1 wound. So he might even be more deadlier in the fact that Iron Man has a range of 2, but he has complete line of sight. So pretty deadly foe to encounter if you're running zombie mode. Next up, we have Hawkeye. He has range attack, of course, arrows, and his blue ability is Expert Marksman. When you attack with arrows, you may spend 1 power to gain 1 range and ignore target priority. Yellow is additional action, and orange is 2 arrow shot. Once during your turn, after attacking with arrows, you may perform 1 free arrow attack on the same zone or zone adjacent to it, respecting the attack range limitation. And then red ability is Explosive Precision. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free arrow attack. Each successful die roll on this attack deals 3 hits to a single enemy, so that's pretty powerful. And his hero draw card is a health of 3, and his ability is attack from 3 zones away. After he attacks, roll a die. On a 5+, he performs 1 free attack. This free attack may trigger further free attacks. So he may down you immediately. So that is pretty powerful. Okay. Next up, we have Winter Soldier. He's a melee character doing Combat Blade. His blue ability is Assassinate. Each time you attack with Combat Blade, you may automatically eliminate 1 walker or runner in your zone. Yellow is additional action. Orange is Limitless Stamina. Each time a rush card is drawn, you may perform 1 move action before that activation. And his red ability is Hand-to-Hand Expert. You may reroll any misses with Combat Blade. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free Combat Blade attack. And his hero card, he has a health of 3. His ability is whenever a rush card is drawn, all zombie heroes within 1 range suffer 1 wound. Next up, we have Star-Lord, and of course he has range ability with his laser pistols. His blue power is Boosters. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 power to move up 1 move action, moving up to 3 zones. You do not ignore enemies. And then his yellow is additional action. Orange is Huddle Up. Once during your turn, you or another superhero within range of 2 may draw 1 heroic trait. You may spend 2 power to have all superheroes within 2 range draw 1 heroic trait each instead. His red ability is We Got This. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 power to have 1 other superhero within range of 2 heal 1 wound or perform 1 free action, then resume your turn. So healing is always powerful. Now his hero card is a health of 3, and his ability is zombie heroes activating within line of sight lose 1 action. We have Namor. He is a melee character with Deep Crush. He has a blue ability of Vegetable Wings. You ignore enemies when moving. You may spend 1 power when moving to move +1 zone. And he has those tiny little wings on his feet, as we saw in that recent movie for the MCU. And he has some cool technicals on his base here. So it's pretty neat that they incorporated this here. Now his yellow ability is +1. His orange ability is Namor's Ambition. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 power to draw 1 heroic trait, then perform 1 free attack or move action. His red ability is Deep Vengeance. Each time you would suffer wounds, you may spend 1 power. Roll 1 die for each wound. On a 3+, prevent that wound and eliminate a walker, runner, or brute in your zone. So that's pretty cool. His hero of card, he has an incredible 5 health, and his ability is performs a number of actions per activation equal to 1 plus the number of wounded zombie heroes in the game for a max of 4 actions. So that's a pretty strong card there. Next up is Black Bolt. He's the leader of the humans, probably my least favorite of all the superhero teams. Regardless, he has a range ability with his voice, Particle Shot, and his blue ability is Particle Channel. Each time you attack with Particle Shot, it may automatically eliminate 1 walker or runner in the targeted zone. Yellow is additional action. Orange is anti-electronic flight. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 power to move up to 2 zones, ignoring enemies into a zone containing enemies, then perform 1 free particle shot attack targeting your zone. And then his red ability is Sonic Scream. During your turn, you may spend 4 power to eliminate all walkers, brutes, and runners in a zone within 1 range. So it doesn't affect the zombie heroes, but it gets rid of all the other guys. Now, his hero card, he has a health of 4, and his ability is zombie heroes within range 2 and in line of sight lose their skills beyond blue level. So that is pretty strong. Next up, we have Baron Zemo. He is a melee character. You can see his sword right there with Sword Flurry. He is a genius mastermind. That's his blue ability. And once during your turn, you or another superhero within a range of 2 may draw 1 heroic trait. Yellow is additional action. Orange is command. Once during your turn, you may have 1 other superhero within a range of 2 perform 1 free action, then resume your turn. And red is Tactician. The first superhero activating each round gains 1 free action. If you are the last superhero to activate, you gain 1 free action. And in his hero card, he has a health of 3. However, his ability is if there are any troopers in his zone, he spends his action to activate all troopers in his zone. Next up, we got Dr. Doom. He is a range ability of lightning. His blue ability is Behold the Might of Doom. Each time you eliminate a zombie hero, draw 1 heroic trait. Once during your turn, you may discard 1 heroic trait to gain 2 power. Yellow is a free action. Orange is I Am Doom. Once per turn, before attacking with lightning, you may spend power to gain the one of the following effects. You can choose a different one for each power spent, +1 range, +1 to dice rolls. Enemy has a -1 toughness, so that's really powerful. And then his red ability is the Will of Doom. Once during your turn, you may have 1 other superhero within a range of 2 perform 1 free action, then resume your turn. His hero card is also pretty powerful. He has a health of 5, and his ability is during each end phase, shuffle all extra activation, rush, and special action spawn cards back into the deck. So pretty dangerous foe for sure. Next up, we have another villain helping the living team. It's Crossbones, and he has range ability, Grenade Launcher. Blue ability is Explosive Shot. When you attack with a grenade launcher, you may replace your base dice with 1 dice for each enemy in the target zone before any bonuses, ignoring zombie heroes for this attack. Yellow is +1, orange is nothing personal. During your turn, you may discard a bystander to move all enemies in your zone into an adjacent zone, then perform 1 free action. And red is collateral damage. Each time you attack with a grenade launcher, you deal half the number of hits rolled, rounded up to each other zone adjacent to the target zone. So a lot of area attack ability for him. His hero card has a health of 3. His ability is if he would be eliminated and there is a guard within range 1, roll a die, and on a 3+, eliminate that guard instead. Next up, we have Loki. He is a melee character with Scepter. His blue ability is Not Who You Expected. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 power to select 1 superhero or bystander within range of 2. Switch the positions of Loki and that individual. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is Deception. Once during your turn, you may select 1 zone within range of 2. All enemies in that zone immediately activate and attempt to move into your zone. And red is I am a god. You will kneel. Once during each enemy phase, you may select 1 zone within a range of 2. Walkers, brutes, and runners in that zone do not activate this phase. His hero card is a health of 4, and his ability is if his zone is attacked, but he is not eliminated, spawn 1 trooper there, then move Loki 1 zone away. Next up, we have the hero version of Iceman. His zombified version is in the X-Men core box, and a lot of the miniatures in the promo box are going to be on the opposite team of what you might see in your expansion pack. So if you want to have all the versions, of course you need the promo box, but if you just had the expansion packs, it will probably have all the characters, maybe not all living and zombified versions. Anyways, let's continue. Iceman is range ability of Ice Beams. His blue ability is Ice Slide. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 power to have yourself or another superhero within 1 range perform 1 free move action. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is Cryokinesis. Once during each enemy phase, when enemies in a zone of your choice within range of 2 would move, you may spend 1 power to prevent them from moving. So that's pretty cool. You can freeze them. And red is Sub-Zero. Once during your turn, you may spend any amount of power to deal 1 enemy within range of 2 that many hits. His hero card has a health of 3, and his ability is zombie heroes within that range must spend 1 extra action to perform a move. We have Hero Cyclops with his head attached. His zombified version has a decapitated look. Anyways, he has range ability with Optic Blast. His blue ability is Focus Shot. When you attack with Optic Blast, you may spend 1 power to gain additional range and ignore target priority. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is Optic Wave. When you attack with Optic Blast, you may replace your base dice with 1 die for each enemy in a zone before any bonuses, ignoring zombie heroes for this attack. And his red ability is Mutant Leader. Once during your turn, you may have 1 other superhero within a range of 2 perform 1 free action, then resume your turn. His hero card has only a health of 3. His ability is his attack targets the furthest zombie hero zone in line of sight, as well as all intervening zones, including his own. Next up, we have a beautiful sculpt of Psylocke. She is a melee character with Psionic Blade. Her blue ability is Psychic Bolt. Once during your turn, you may automatically eliminate 1 walker runner within a range of 1. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is Psionic Focus. Once during your turn, you may spend 2 power to perform 1 free attack or move action, or spend 1 power to draw a hero trait. And her red ability is Precognition. During the enemy phase, you may draw as many spawn cards as there are active spawn points and choose which card applies to each spawn point. So that's pretty cool. And then her hero card has a health of 3. Her ability is Zombie Heroes within a range of 1 must increase their hunger by additional 1 for each use of zombie traits. We got the Beast up next. He is a melee character, of course, with Claw Swipe. His blue ability is Genius Intellect. Once during your turn, you or another superhero within a range of 2 may draw 1 heroic trait. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is Claw Frenzy. Before attacking with Claw Swipe, you may discard 1 heroic trait to roll +2 dice. Each time you attack, for a roll of 6, roll 1 additional die. These dice may generate additional dice, sort of like Berserker Rage for Wolverine. Red ability is Supreme Agility. When you gain 1 free move action and ignore enemies when moving. Each time enemies spawn within range of 1 before a rush, you may spend 1 power to perform 1 free move action. And his hero card has a health of 3. His ability is attacking his zone at range 0 suffers -1 to dice results. If his zone is attacked but he is not eliminated, move him 1 zone away. Up next, we got Gambit here, and his sculpt's pretty cool. He's standing on a sentinel hand here. He is a melee character with bow staff. His Blue abilities card throw. Once during your turn, you may discard a hero trait to eliminate 2 walkers or runners within 1 range. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is charge toss. When you use card throw, you may spend 1 power to eliminate all walkers and runners in that targeted zone, or spend 2 power to eliminate all brutes in that zone. So that is super strong. And his red ability is kinetic mastery. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 power to perform 1 free action. His hero card has a health of 3, and his ability is can attack from a range equal to the highest danger level among the zombie heroes, 1 through 4. His attacks hit all heroes in that targeted zone, so pretty deadly. Next up, we have Nightcrawler teleporting right now. He is a melee character with acrobatics. His blue ability is Bamf. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 power to move to any zone on the board containing a superhero. Yellow is +1 action. Red is gotcha. When using Bamf, you may select 1 bystander, superhero, or enemy in your zone and move them with you. And red ability is surprise shot. Each time you enter or leave a zone with enemies, you may eliminate 1 walker, brute, or runner in that zone. His hero card has a health of 3, and his ability is when his zone is attacked, roll a die on 4, plus place him on the furthest active spawn point. If there are zombie heroes in line of sight when he activates, as his first action, he is placed in the zone with the closest one. Next up, we have a large miniature of Juggernaut. Next up, we have a very large miniature of Juggernaut here. He is a melee character, of course, with body slam. His blue ability is Know Who I Am. You have 5 health, so that's really strong, having 5 health always if you activate this. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 power to perform 1 free move action and 1 free open door action. So that's pretty cool. And he has a +1 for yellow, of course. His orange abilities, I'm the Juggernaut. When performing move actions, you may eliminate 1 walker, brute, or runner in each zone you enter and spend 1 power to move 1 additional zone. And red ability is unstoppable. You do not suffer wounds from walkers or runners. You may move 2 zones per move action. His hero card is really powerful, like a zombie one, and his toughness increases according to the highest danger level among the zombie heroes, from 4 to 7. So very difficult foe to fight against, but really strong hero to run. Sabretooth is a melee character with feral claws. Claw Frenzy is his blue ability. When attacking with his claws, for each roll of 6, roll +1 dice. These dice may generate additional rolls, so very powerful like Wolverine. Yellow is +1 action. Orange leaping charge. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 power to move up to 2 zones, ignoring enemies into a zone containing enemies. Then perform 1 free feral claws attack. Red is Alpha Predator. At the start of each of your turns, you may draw 1 hero trait. You may reroll any misses when attacking zones containing zombie heroes. His hero draw card has a health of 4, and his ability is zombie heroes attacking in his zone suffer 1 wound for each 1 result, so that's dangerous. Next up, we have Emma Frost, and I should also point out, of course, all the character art is really cool. And check out her base. There is the Xavier School sign that is broken at her base there. She has a range ability called Mind Bolt. Her blue abilities induce pain. During your turn, you may spend any amount of power. For each power spent, deal 1 hit to 1 walker, runner, or brute within a range of 1. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is Mind Cloak. At the start of the enemy phase, you may spend 1 power to select 1 zone within a range of 2. During this phase, enemies ignore 1 bystander and 1 superhero in that range. And her red ability is Omega Telepath. Once during your turn, you may have 1 superhero draw 1 hero trait. Another superhero perform 1 free move action. Another superhero perform 1 free attack action. So she works well with others, apparently. Her hero card has a health of 3. Her ability is bystanders within a range of 2 cannot be devoured. Enemy zombie heroes must spend 1 additional action to attack her zone. So the last hero in the first trait is Kitty Pryde. She's probably one of my favorite heroes, and I think it's partly because of her pet little dragon. So that gives her range ability. Lockheed is his name, and blue ability is Untangible. You ignore enemies when moving and may perform open door actions for free. Yellow is one additional action. Orange is phase out. At the start of each enemy phase, you may spend up to 2 power for each power spent. One bystander or superhero in your zone cannot be allocated wounds during this phase. And red ability is selective phasing. During your turn, you may spend 1 action and 3 power to automatically eliminate 1 enemy in your zone. So I am assuming that could even be a hero. Now, her hero card has a health of 3. Her ability is ignore walls when moving. Does not trigger spawns if she enters a closed building. Each zombie hero can only attack her zone once per turn. So the first hero on trade 2 is Daredevil. He's one of my favorites. If you never read Frank Miller's run on his comic series, you should stop watching this video and read it now. Now, check out his miniature on the base here. There's a broken sign here that says Nelson and Murdoch's Attorneys at Law. So that's where his secret identity works. So that's a pretty cool Easter egg detail there. He is a melee character, of course, with baton rush. His blue ability is beat down when attacking with baton rush. For each roll of 6, roll 1 additional dice. These dice may generate more additional dice, like Wolverine's Berserker Rage. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is baton grapple. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 power to choose a zone within 1 range and move into that zone, ignoring enemies, or move 1 game piece from that zone into your zone. Red ability is Man Without Fear. When enemies spawn within range of 2, you may perform 1 free attack or move action. If a rush card was drawn, you may perform this action before or after that card is resolved. And his hero card has a health of 3. His ability is after a bystander is devoured, Daredevil immediately performs 2 actions, so he can revenge attack. Next to Daredevil is Elektra. Let's take a moment to appreciate this wonderful sculpt here with the bonsai tree and the corresponding artwork. Really well done. Probably the most beautiful figure in the entire box. Now, she is a melee character, of course, with dual psi. Her blue ability is critical strike. When attacking with dual psi, each roll of 6 deals 2 hits to a single enemy. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is Assassin's Instinct. You ignore target priority and do not spend extra actions when leaving zones with enemies. Each time you eliminate a zombie hero, you may perform 1 free move action. And her red ability is Hand-to-Hand Expert. You may reroll any misses. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free dual psi attack. Her hero card has a health of 3, and her ability is whenever an extra activation card is drawn, all zombie heroes within a range of 2 suffer 1 wound. And of course, next to Daredevil and Elektra is the Kingpin. He is a melee character with cane and fist. His blue ability is the Boss. Once during your turn, you may have 1 other superhero within a range of 2 perform 1 free action of attack. You gain 1 XP for each enemy this eliminates, then resume your turn. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is out of my way. Once during your turn, you may move all enemies in your zone to an adjacent zone, then perform 1 free move action. And red is Criminal Mastermind. Once during your turn, you may have both yourself and another superhero within range of 2, gain 1 power and draw 1 heroic trait. His hero card has only health of 3, and his ability is he is the last in target priority. Spawn 2 guards with him. Guards within a range of 1 of him have 1 additional toughness. Bullseye has range ability with throwing knives. Blue abilities I Never Miss. You ignore target priority when attacking with throwing knives. After rolling, you may spend 1 power to reroll any misses. Yellow is 1 additional action. Orange is anything is a weapon. During your turn, you may discard a heroic trait card to perform 1 free attack action with +1 range. This can be done multiple times, so that's really cool. Red ability is Deadly Marksman. Enemies suffer -1 toughness against your attacks. Throwing knives gains +2 range and does not require a line of sight. Being able to go around corners but not through walls, so you can ricochet his attack. His hero card has a health of 3. His ability is his attacks have unlimited range but still require line of sight. We got Luke Cage with a melee ability, of course, with fists. His blue ability is Tough as Steel. Once during each enemy phase, you may ignore 1 wound that you would receive. Yellow is additional action. Orange is Hero for Hire. During your turn, other superheroes within range 1 may discard 1 heroic trait to have you perform 1 free action. Then they resume their turn. And red is Ain't That Tough. Enemies suffer -1 toughness against your fist attack, and you may reroll any misses. Each time your hero for higher skill is used, you gain 1 power. His hero card has a health of 4, and devour attacks within 1 range suffer -1 to their dice rolls. Devouring him does not reduce hunger. Interesting. Next up, we have Jessica Jones. I'm not sure I really like this sculpt. We have the wind sort of blowing up her jacket there and her shirt, and it almost gives her a look like she's flying or gliding. I don't know, it's a little bit odd. Anyways, she is a melee character, of course, with mighty punches. Blue is knockout punch. All enemies suffer -1 toughness against your mighty punches attack. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free open door action. Yellow is 1 additional action. Orange is flying charge. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 power to move up to 2 zones, ignoring enemies, into a zone containing enemies, then perform 1 punch attack. And red ability is psionic projection. You cannot be afflicted by the abilities of zombie heroes. Each time you would perform a power-up action, you draw 1 free heroic trait. Her hero card has a health of 4, and her ability is after the first zombie hero ends their turn each round, she immediately performs 2 actions. We got Shang-Chi, a melee character, of course, with martial arts. Blue ability is Iron Resolve. Enemies suffer -1 toughness against your martial arts attack. During your turn, you may spend up to 3 power to heal 1 wound, so that's a really strong ability. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is Chi Manipulation. Once during your turn, you may discard 1 heroic trait to perform 1 free power-up action. Each time you eliminate a zombie hero, draw 1 heroic trait. Red is 10 Rings Empowerment. Each time you perform 1 power-up action, gain 1 power and eliminate 1 walker, brute, or runner in your zone. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 power to perform 1 free action. And his hero card has a health of 4, and his ability is, if his zone is attacked but he is not eliminated, the attacker suffers 1 wound and their turn ends. Next up, we have Morbius. He has Vampiric Claws, melee ability. His blue power is Living Vampire. Each time you eliminate a brute with your Vampiric Claws, you gain 1 power. Each time you eliminate a hero with your claws, you gain 2 power. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is Transvection. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 power to perform 1 free move action, moving 2 additional zones and ignoring enemies. And his red ability is Regeneration. At the start of each end phase, your health is fully restored. His hero card has a health of 4. His ability is performs +1 action for each wounded zombie within range of 3 when he activates. Next to him in the tray is Blade, with a melee ability of Katana. His blue ability is Conviction. Each time you eliminate a brute or zombie hero, you may draw 1 heroic trait. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is Daywalker. Each time a zombie hero spawns, you may perform 1 free attack or move action. Each time an extra activation card is drawn, you may perform 1 move action before that activation. And his red ability is Regeneration. At the start of each end phase, your health is fully restored. His hero card has a health of 4, and his ability is whenever a zombie hero has resolved an attack that makes them ravenous, Blade performs 1 action. Next up, we have Ghost Rider, and I have to admit this sculpt is a little bit bizarre looking. He might look better painted. Regardless, he has a range ability with Mystic Chains. He has blue ability is Supernatural Durability, so he has a health of 3. And once during each round, you may ignore 1 wound you would receive. Yellow is 1 additional action. Orange is Penstance Stare. You set your health to 4 when this is unlocked. Once during your turn, you may spend any amount of power to automatically deal that many hits to 1 enemy in your zone. And red ability is your health is now set to 5 when this is unlocked. Once during your turn, after you perform a power-up action, you may perform 1 free attack and 1 free move action. His hero card has a health of 4. His ability is, if he attacks a zombie hero with a Bystander card, and they suffer 2 wounds and discard the card. We got the Black Knight up next. He is a melee character with Ebony Blade. Blue ability is the Blade's Might. Enemies suffer -1 toughness against your blade attack, and you may reroll any misses. Yellow is additional action. Orange is Blood Curse. You may perform 1 free blade attack every turn. If you do not attack anyone in the first action of your turn, you suffer 1 wound. Each time you eliminate a zombie hero, heal 1 wound. Red ability is Blade Slash. Before attacking with your blade, you may spend 1 power to roll 1 additional dice for each enemy in your zone, ignoring zombie heroes for this attack. His hero card has a health of 3, and his ability is his attacks deal wounds equal to the highest danger level among the zombie heroes, 1 through 4. We got Miles Morales in a very dynamic pose with a melee ability of Acrobatics. Blue ability is Camouflage. At the end of your turn, if there are no enemies in your zone, you may spend 1 power to have all enemies ignore you during the next enemy phase. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is Venom Strike. During your turn, you may spend 1 power to choose move all enemies in your zone to adjacent zone, or allow all superheroes to reroll any misses when attacking your zone this round. And red ability is Spider Sense. Once per enemy phase, when the enemy spawns before a rush, you may perform 1 free attack and 1 move action in any order. His hero card has a health of 4, and his ability is at the start of each round, roll a die. On 5+ hits cannot be assigned to him this round. He is ignored for target priority. Spider-Woman has melee ability of Martial Arts. Blue ability is Venom Blast. After attacking with your arts, you may spend 1 power to move all enemies into your zone to an adjacent zone. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is Pheromones. Once during your turn, you may select 1 zone within a range of 1. All enemies in that zone immediately activate and attempt to move into your zone. And red is Hand-to-Hand Expert. You may reroll any dice when attacking with martial arts. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free martial arts attack. Her hero card has a health of 3. Her ability is can attack from 1 zone away. Zombie heroes attacked by her must discard their trait cards. If they do not or cannot, they suffer 1 additional wound. We got Moon Knight up next with his awesome billowing cape here. He has range ability with his crescent darts. His blue ability is Charging Throw. Once during your turn, after completing a move action, you may spend 1 power to perform 1 free crescent dart attack, targeting your zone. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is Multiple Personalities. Once during your turn, you may roll a die. On 1 through 3, draw a heroic trait. 4 to 5, perform 1 free power-up action. On 6, gain +1 to dice results and +1 free attack action this turn. And his red abilities, Khonshu's Foresight. Once during each enemy phase, when a spawn card is drawn, you may draw additional cards and select 1 of them, shuffling the others back to the deck. His hero card has a health of 3, and his ability is each player phase, the last zombie hero to take a turn suffers +1 wound at the start of their turn. Vulture is apparently a melee character with Wing Slash. Blue ability is Flying Slash. Each time you perform a move action, eliminate 1 walker in a zone you entered or left. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is Take Flight. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free move action, moving up to 3 zones and ignoring enemies. Red ability is Enhanced Suit. Each time you perform a move action, you may move 1+ zone and gain 1 power. His hero card is a health of 3, and his ability is remove 2 troopers within 1 range. When he activates as possible, for each trooper removed, he performs +1 action this activation. We have Lizard with melee abilities of Fangs and Claws. Blue ability is Lesser Regeneration. At the start of your turn, you heal 1 wound or gain 1 power. Yellow is 1 action. Orange is Lizard's Fury. Enemies suffer -1 toughness against your claw attack. Your claw attack gains +1 to dice results. Red ability is Lash Out. Each time enemies move into your zone, you may spend 1 power to perform 1 free melee attack or 1 free move action ignoring enemies. His hero card has a health of 4, and his ability is each time he is eliminated by a devour attack, spawn him in the same zone during the next enemy phase, so hard to get rid of. We have Electro next, and I'm not sure if I like this sculpt. It looks a little bit too cartoony for me, but he has range ability with electrical bolts. Blue ability is Arcing Bolt. Each time you attack with electrical bolts, you may eliminate 1 additional walker or runner within a range of 1. Yellow is +1. Orange is Battery Power. Each time you power up, eliminate 1 walker in your zone. During your turn, you may discard heroic trait cards to perform 1 free power-up action per card discarded. Red ability is Electric Travel. Once during your turn, you may eliminate 1 walker, brute, or runner in your zone, then move up to 3 zones, ignoring enemies. Eliminate all walkers, brutes, and runners in the zone you ended in. His hero card has a health of 3. His ability is his attacks wounds all zombie heroes in his zone, as well as in all zones with zombie heroes adjacent to it, and all zones with zombie heroes adjacent to those zones, and so on. Wow, chain attack. Carnage is a melee character with symbiotic blades. Blue ability is deadly adaptation. Once per turn, when attacking with your blades, you may spend 1 power to gain one of the following effects, or 2 power to gain both. +1 range and +1 to dice rolls. Yellow is +1 action. Orange is not a hero. During your turn, you may discard a bystander card or deal 1 wound to another superhero within a range of 1 to heal 1 wound, perform 1 free power-up action, and then perform 1 free action. And red is maximum carnage. At the start of your turn, roll 1 die. On 1 to 2, draw a heroic trait. 3 to 4, perform 1 free power-up action, and 5 to 6, perform 1 free attack action. His hero card looks like this. Starts with 4 and goes up to 5. Gains the following based on the highest danger level, cumulative. Blue, no effect. Yellow, his attacks deal 2 wounds. Orange performs 1 action each time a rush card is drawn, and red has a toughness of 5, so pretty deadly. The last hero in trade 2 is Dr. Octopus. He has range ability of tentacles. His blue ability is Genius Mastermind. Once during your turn, you or another superhero within range of 2 may draw 1 heroic trait. Yellow is additional action. Orange is knock aside. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 power to move all enemies in a zone to a range of 1 into a zone adjacent to it. And red ability is lashing tentacles. Each time you attack with tentacles, the same number of hits dealt to the target zone can also be dealt to a zone within range of you. His hero card has a health of 3, and his ability is can attack from 1 zone away. If his zone is attacked but he is not eliminated, the attacker is moved 1 zone away and suffers 1 wound. So the very last hero is in tray 3, and that is the Dark Phoenix. Now I know it's hard for you to read the cards because this sculpt is quite large with the wingspan in the way. However, I'll read it for you. She has range ability of Psychic Bolts. Her blue abilities, Telekinesis. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 power to have yourself or another superhero within 1 range perform 1 free move action. Yellow is 1 additional action. Orange is limitless power. Once during your turn, you or another superhero within 1 range may increase their power to 4. And red ability is Immortal Phoenix. Enemies within range of 1 suffer 1 minus toughness against all attacks. Each time you would be eliminated, roll a die. On 3+, you do not lose your last health. You may spend 1 power to re-roll this dice. So that's really impressive. And her hero card here, she has a health of 4. And her ability is each time she is eliminated, spawn her at the first spawn point during the next last end phase. Our first zombie hero in the box is Scarlet Witch, and she has Hex Blast, and her blue abilities alternate timelines. Once during your turn, you may increase hunger by any amount. For each level increase, 1 zombie hero may draw 1 zombie trait, and then roll a die on 5+. Each zombie hero who gained a trait increases the hunger by 1. Yellow, I'm not going to mention anymore because it's always the same. And orange is Warped Reality. Once during your turn, you may increase hunger to select 1 zone within 1 range, replace all guards and specials in that zone with troopers. And then red is No More Troopers. Once during your turn, you may increase your hunger to automatically eliminate all troopers in a zone within a range of 1. So really powerful. Her zombie hero draw card is a health of 3, and her ability is when spawning enemies, consider the highest danger level as 1 level higher. Next up is Doctor Strange, and it's a little bit of a bizarre sculpt with this Mystic Shield. Regardless, he has range ability of Mystic Bolts. Blue ability is Cognition. Once during an enemy phase, when a spawn card is drawn, you may increase hunger to discard that card and draw a new one. Orange is Grasping Portal. Once during your turn, you may increase your hunger by any amount and select 1 zone within range equal to that amount increase. Eliminate all troopers in that zone. Red ability is Undead Sorcerer. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free Devour attack with additional range equal to your hunger level. If this is successful, eliminate someone, you may perform 1 free action. His hero card has a health of 3, and his ability is when he would activate, if not in a zone with a superhero, place him and all enemies in his zone to the furthest zone of a superhero. Strange, and these enemies do not activate this phase. Zombie Thor here has an imitation hammer. Of course, he's not worthy anymore. His blue ability states exactly that. Not worthy, still strong. Enemies suffer -1 toughness against your attacks. Each time a superhero ends their move within 1 range, you may increase hunger to perform 1 free imitation hammer attack within a range of 1. Orange is reckless charge. Once during your turn, you may increase your hunger to level 3 to move up to 2 zones, then perform 1 free hammer attack in your zone. Red abilities Undead God's Hunger. Your Devour attack gains +1 to dice rolls. While your hunger level is 3 or 4, you may move 1 zone per move action and reroll any misses. His hero draw card has a stunning health of 5, and his ability is when eliminated, roll 1 die on 4, plus all superheroes within 1 range suffer 1 wound. Miss Marvel has a ranged attack of oversized fist. Her blue ability is grab. Once during your turn, you may increase hunger to select 1 bystander, enemy, or zombie hero within 1 range and move them into your zone. Orange is Undead Morphogenesis. When you start your turn, you may draw 1 zombie trait. During your turn, you may discard a zombie trait and increase your hunger to perform 1 free action. And red ability is Palm Smash. Each time you attack with oversized fish, you may roll 1 die for each enemy in a targeted zone before other bonuses, ignoring superheroes for this attack. Her hero card has a health of 3, and her ability is when she activates, if there are bystanders in line of sight, she moves the closest one into her zone. Winter Soldier has a very busy base with a half-wrecked motorcycle there. He has a range ability of Spear, and his blue ability is Assassin's Reflex. Each time you eliminate a hero bystander with a Devour attack, you may also eliminate 1 trooper in their zone. Orange is Undead Stamina. Each time a rush card is drawn, you may perform 1 free move action before that activation. And red is Hand Expert. You may reroll any misses when attacking. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free attack action. His hero card has a health of 3, and his ability is if his zone is attacked with a range of 0, but he is not eliminated, the attacker suffers 1 wound and loses 1 power. Next up is only Fantastic Four member in the whole box, I believe. It's Human Torch with a range ability of Flame On. Blue ability is a warm meal. Each time you eliminate a superhero with Flame On, you may decrease hunger by 1 and draw a zombie trait. Orange is Fire Flight. Once during your turn, you may increase hunger to perform 1 free move action, ignoring enemies. You may eliminate 1 trooper or specialist in the zone you start and 1 in the zone you end up in. And red ability is Nova Burst. When you become ravenous, automatically eliminate all troopers, guards, and specialists in your zone. Then you may perform 2 free move actions. His hero card has a health of 3, and his ability is if his zone is attacked at range 0 and he is not eliminated, the attacker suffers number of wounds equal to highest current danger level. Black Cat is a ranged character with cat claws. Blue ability is Bad Luck. Once per enemy phase, when enemies move into a zone within range of 1, you may increase hunger by any number to eliminate the same number of troopers in that zone. Orange is Claw Frenzy. Before attacking with cat claws, you may discard 1 zombie trait to roll +2 dice. When attacking with cat claws, for each roll a 6, roll +1 die. These dice may generate additional dice. And red abilities Hand Expert. You may re-roll any dice when attacking. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free attack action. So she could chain link attacks as well. Her hero card has a health of 3, and her ability is she is the last in target priority. Attacks targeting her zone suffer -1 to dice rolls. Daredevil, of course, is a melee character with Baton Rush. Blue is Beatdown. When attacking with Rush, for each roll of 6, roll +1 dice. These dice may generate additional dice. Blue is Baton Snare. Once during your turn, you may select 1 zone within 1 range and move 1 enemy or bystander from that zone into your zone, then perform 1 free Devour attack targeting them. And red ability is Hunger Senses. Each time enemies spawn within range of 2, before or after any rush, you may perform 1 free attack or move action. His hero card has a health of 4, and his ability is whenever a rush card is drawn, place Daredevil in the closest zone with a superhero, if not already in a zone with 1. Zombie Electra here has a very cool dynamic sculpt, as you can see, with matching character art. She is a melee character with dual psi. Her blue ability is Critical Strike. When attacking with dual psi, each roll of 6 deals 2 hits to a single enemy. Orange is Undead Assassin. When performing a Devour attack, you may eliminate 1 trooper, guard, or specialist instead of rolling dice. After devouring someone, we may perform 1 free move action ignoring enemies. Red ability is hand-to-hand expert. You may reroll any misses. Once during your turn, you may perform one free attack action. Her hero card has a health of 3, and her ability is if there are any wounded superheroes within a range of 2, she automatically activates and performs +1 action. Zombie Kingpin has a melee ability of cane and fist, but you can see his cane is actually embedded within his zombie body, so that's a pretty cool sculpt. His blue ability is Zombie Boss. Once during your turn, you may have one other zombie hero within a range of 2 perform one free attack action. You gain 1 XP for each enemy this eliminates, then resume your turn. Orange is Taunt. Once during your turn, you may select one zone. Within a range of 1, all enemies in that zone immediately activate and attempt to move into your location. Red abilities adapt to hunger. Once during your turn, you may draw 1 zombie trait. When drawing zombie traits, draw 2 cards and select one and discard the other. His hero ability has a health of 3, and his ability is the last of target priority. When he spawns, he also spawns 2 brutes into his zones, and brutes within 1 range of him have +1 toughness. Bullseye has ranged attack, of course, with throwing knives. Blue abilities, I never miss. You ignore target priority when attacking with knives. After rolling, you may increase hunger to reroll any misses. Orange is Focus Assassin. After successfully devouring an enemy or bystander, you may perform 1 free attack or 1 free move action, ignoring enemies. And red abilities, Undead Marksman. Enemies suffer -1 toughness against your attacks. Throwing knives gains +2 range and doesn't require line of sight, being able to go around corners but not through walls. His hero card has a health of 3, and his ability is can attack from 2 zones array. If he ends his activation with line of sight to any superheroes, roll 1 die for each of them, and 5 plus that superhero suffers 1 wound. Luke Cage has Indomitable Fists melee ability. Blue attack is tough as steel. Once during enemy phase, you may ignore 1 wound receive. Orange is Ain't That Tough. Enemies suffer -1 toughness against your fist attack and may reroll any misses. Each time you eliminate a guard or superhero, draw 1 zombie trait. Red ability is Street Smarts. Each time you devour an enemy or bystander, draw 1 zombie trait. Twice during your turn, you may discard 1 zombie trait to perform 1 free action. His hero card does have a health of 4, and his ability is when he is eliminated, unless a superhero within 1 range spends 1 power, spawn him at the first spawn point during the next enemy end phase. Scorpion has range ability with Scorpion's Tail. Blue ability is Skewer and Devour. After attacking with Tail, you may move 1 enemy from the target zone into your zone, then perform 1 free Devour attack targeting that enemy. They suffer -1 toughness against this attack, so he can eat quite a bit. Orange ability is Tail Sweep. When attacking with Scorpion's Tail, you may increase hunger to roll +1 dice for each enemy in that target zone, ignoring superheroes for this attack. And red ability is Scorpion's Fury. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free attack action. While you are ravenous, you may move 1 zone per move action. His hero card has a health of 3, and his ability is can attack from 1 zone away. If he wounds a superhero, they lose all power. If that superhero has no power to lose, they suffer 1 extra wound. Kraven has melee ability with Hunter's Tools. Blue ability is Choice Prey. When you activate, if there are any superheroes within range of 2, you may draw 1 zombie trait. You may reroll any misses when attacking zones containing superheroes. Orange is Thrill of the Chase. Each time a superhero spawns, you may perform 1 free move action. When you activate, if there are any superheroes within range of 2, you gain +1 action. And red ability is Apex Hunter. Before attacking, you may discard zombie traits to roll +2 dice per zombie trait you discard. While your hunger level is 3 or higher, you may move 1 plus zone per move action and reroll any misses. His hero card has a health of 3, but it can go up to 5. Always targets the superhero with highest XP. If the danger level is orange or red, Kraven performs 4 actions and has a toughness of 5. Rogue has melee ability of Mighty Punches. Blue is Undead Strength. All enemies suffer -1 toughness against your attacks. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free open door action. Orange is Absorb abilities. Once during your turn, you may increase hunger to copy any attack, unlock skill, or bystander ability of any other zombie hero within a range of 1 until the end of the round. And red is Hunger Ambition. While your hunger level is 2 or higher, you may reroll any dice, move 1 plus zone per move action, but not increase hunger to use bystander abilities. Now, Her hero card has a health of 4, and her ability is at the end of her action, all superheroes in her zone lose all of their power. Any superhero with no power to lose suffers 1 wound. Zombie Mystique has range ability with adaptive weapons. Blue ability is Shapeshift. At the end of your turn, if there are no enemies in your zone, you may increase hunger to have all enemies ignore you during the next enemy phase. Orange is Illusion of Safety. Once during your turn, you may select one bystander enemy within a range of 2 and move them into your zone. Then perform 1 free Devour attack targeting them. Red is Unseen Threat. You may reroll any misses. Each time you eliminate an enemy, you may perform 1 free move action ignoring enemies. Now, her hero card is very unique in the fact that it actually has a bystander backing, and it's really cool how CMON has integrated the IP into their game, because she shapeshifts and you think you might be drawing a beneficial bystander, but you are not. You are actually drawing another zombie hero. So that's a really cool detail. So you are not missing the card. Once again, it's in the bystander deck. So I'll flip it around and you can see she has a health of 3 and her ability is spawn this zombie hero and immediately activate her. When Mystique is eliminated, spawn a bystander on the closest spawn point if tied players choose. Beast here is a melee character with Claw Swipe. His blue ability is Zombie Genius. Once during your turn, you or another zombie hero with a range of 2 may draw 1 zombie trait. Orange is Claw Frenzy. Before attacking with Claw Swipe, you may discard 1 zombie trait to roll +2 dice. When attacking with Swipe, for each roll of 6, roll +1 dice. These dice may generate additional dice. Red ability is Supreme Agility. You may gain 1 free move action and may ignore enemies while moving. Each time enemies spawn within a range of 1 before any rush, you may increase hunger to perform 1 free move action. And his hero card has a health of 4, and his ability is whenever a superhero ends their turn with a range of 3, Beast immediately moves to zone towards them. Gamora is a melee character with God Slayer. Her blue ability is Critical Strike. When attacking with God Slayer, each roll of 6 deals 2 hits. Orange is Focus Control. While your hunger level is exactly 3, you may move +1 zone per move action, ignoring target priority, and may reroll any misses when attacking with God Slayer. And red is Undead Stamina. Once during your turn, you may perform 1 free attack or move action. Her hero card has a health of 3, and her ability is her attacks deal 1 wound to each superhero in her zone, and they each lose 1 power. Next up, we have the incredibly strong Mutant Nova. He has range ability with Nova Shots. Blue is Cosmic Awareness. Each time enemies spawn within a range of 1 before they rush, you may perform 1 free Nova Shot attack. Orange is Hypergate. Once during your turn, you may spend 1 action to have yourself or 1 zombie hero within range of 2 perform 1 free move action, moving +1 zone and ignoring enemies. And red is Undead Nova Host. You do not suffer wounds from troopers. When you successfully devour, you may choose to reduce hunger by 1 instead of 2-0. His hero card has an incredible health of 5, and his ability is each time a zone with another zombie hero is attacked, Nova performs 1 action immediately after. Next up, we have an incredibly large sculpt of Moonlight with a really cool Boolean cape here. So I'll read the card since it's out of focus for you. He has a range ability of Crescent Darts. His blue ability is Personality Shift. Each time you devour a bystander or enemy, roll a die. On a 1, increase hunger by 3. On 2 to 4, draw a zombie trait. On 5 to 6, perform 1 free attack action. Orange is Insanity and Immortality. Each time you suffer a wound, you may discard 1 zombie trait to prevent that wound. Each time you become ravenous, draw 1 zombie trait. And red is Khonshu's Foresight. Once during each enemy phase, you may have 1 spawn card draw, and you may draw 2 additional cards and select 1 of them and shuffle the others back into the deck. His hero card has a health of 4, and his abilities is each round, the first zombie hero to take a turn suffers 1 wound at the start of their turn unless they spend 2 power. Colossus is a melee character, of course, with Pummeling Fists. Blue ability is Tough as Steel. Once during each enemy phase, you may ignore 1 wound that you would receive. Orange is Charge. Once during your turn, you may increase hunger to move up to 2 zones, ignoring enemies, then perform 1 free fist attack in your zone. And red is Ground Slam. Once during your turn, you may attack with fists and roll +1 dice for each enemy in your zone, ignoring heroes for this attack. After this attack, you may push all enemies in your zone into an adjacent zone, and his hero card has a health of 4 with the ability of a successful attack only eliminates him if another superhero is in his zone, spends 2 power. Zombie Nightcrawler is hanging out here with melee ability of acrobatics. Blue ability is Bamf. Once during your turn, you may increase hunger to move to any zone on the board containing a zombie hero. Orange is Surprise. Immediately after using Bamf, you may select 1 bystander or enemy in your zone and perform 1 free attack against them. And red is Rapid Bamfs. When you eliminate a bystander or enemy with Surprise, you may increase hunger to move into any zone within range of 3, ignoring enemies, and eliminate any non-superhero enemies in that zone. And his hero card has a health of 3 with the ability he spawns in a zone with a superhero with at least power if ties players choose. When that superhero activates, place them and Nightcrawler in the nearest spawn zone. Gambit has range ability with card throw. Blue ability is Kinetic Charge. Once during your turn, may discard a zombie trait card to perform 1 free card throw attack, rolling 1 die, no bonus possible. On a successful roll, deals a number of hits equal to 1 plus your hunger level on a single enemy. Orange is Explosive Impact. Each time you attack with card throw, you may roll +1 die for each enemy in your zone before any other bonuses, ignoring superhero attacks for this attack. And red is Kinetic Mastery. Once during your turn, you may increase hunger to perform 1 free move action. When attacking with card throw, you may increase hunger by any amount to increase range by that amount. His hero card has a health of 3 with ability is can attack from 2 zones away. Any superheroes in that zone he attacks are moved into adjacent zone with the most enemies. Zombie Wolverine has melee ability with adamantium claws, of course. Blue is Undead Rage. When attacking with the claws, add +1 to your dice results if you are wounded. For each roll of 6, roll 1 additional dice. These dice can may generate additional dice. Orange is Lash Out. Once during each enemy phase, when enemies move into your zone, you may increase hunger to perform 1 free attack action. Red is Relentless. You do not suffer wounds from troopers or specialists. His hero card has a health of 4, and his ability is each time an extra activation or special action spawn card is drawn, he performs 2 actions before resolving the card. Magneto has range ability with Shrapnel. His blue ability is Magnetic Pull. Once during your turn, you may increase hunger to select 1 bystander, enemy, or zombie hero within range of 2 and move them into your zone. Orange is Crush. Once during your turn, you may increase hunger by any number to deal the same number of hits to a single enemy within range of 2. If this eliminates a superhero, draw 1 zombie trait. And red is Undead Commander. Once during your turn, you may allow 1 other zombie hero to perform 1 free action, then resume your turn. His hero card has a health of 3, and his ability is at the end of his activation, all superheroes in line of sight are moved 1 zone towards him and suffer 1 wound. Storm has range of Lightning Bolt. Blue is Gust. Once during your turn, you may increase hunger and select 1 zone within 1 range. Move all enemies in that zone into a zone adjacent to it. Orange is Flesh Cyclone. After using Gust, automatically eliminate a number of troopers, guards, or specialists in that zone equal to your hunger level. And red is Chain Lightning. Once during your turn, after attacking with Lightning Bolt, you may perform 1 free bolt attack using the same number of dice as the initial attack. Her hero card has a health of 3 with the ability of, at the start of her activation, all superheroes are moved 1 zone towards the zone with the enemy closest to them. Next up, we have Multiple Man. There's no specific sculpt in the promo box because basically you're going to use that walker that's in the core box because it's him. Now, melee ability with multi-punch. Blue is Multiple Focus. You ignore target priority when attacking. Orange is unique here. Add a second Multiple Man game piece to your zone. All Multiple Men dupes share the same health and hunger tracks. And now you have 5 actions to spend between all game pieces. Each Multiple Man can't spend more than 3 actions per turn. Orange is More the Merrier. Add the 3rd Multiple Man game piece into a zone containing a Multiple Man. Now you have 8 actions to spend between all game pieces. So it's going to be a little hard to keep track of all that. And red is Split Up Gang. Move 1 zone per move action. So that's really cool that they did something like this. So next up, we have Giant Man. He is definitely the larger sculpt. He does not even fit in the frame here. You can see how humongous and colossus he is. Very nicely done. Now his card, he has Giant Fist as a range ability, and his Devour is also range if you notice. And I'm assuming this is because he has long reach, right? He's definitely a melee character, but it's his long reach that gives him great range. Now, Giant Size, Giant Hunger, move +1 zone per move action. Your Devourer rolls +2 dice and may eliminate multiple enemies. Orange is Crush. Once during your turn, you may automatically deal one enemy within one range a number of hits equal to your hunger level, and red is Stomp. Once during your turn, you may automatically eliminate all troopers in your zone. And his hero card, he has, of course, a health of 5, with ability can attack from one zone away before performing each action. If there is a superhero adjacent to him, behind a door, closed door, or window, place an open window connecting both zones. Now we have our first bystander here, and it's Vanessa Fisk, and her hero ability is do not lose power or heroic traits when other bystanders are devoured. Once per game during your turn, gain 4 power. Zombie trait that she gives you, when you devour her, do not reduce hunger. During your turn, you may discard this card to reduce hunger to 0. So that's a little bit odd. Next up, we have Foggy Nelson, and basically it's the same. So when you rescue him, you draw a heroic trait, and if each time you suffer a wound, you may draw a heroic trait. If you devour him, you draw 1 zombie trait, and if you suffer a wound, you may draw a zombie trait. Harry Osborn is next. Each time you use a heroic trait, one other superhero within range of 2 gains 1 power, and if you use a zombie trait, one other zombie hero within range of 2 may increase or decrease their hunger by 1. Jimmy Woo is a combat bystander. As you can see, during your turn, you may spend 1 power and discard this card to search the heroic trait deck for any 1 card and shuffle the deck. And then you may increase hunger to discard this card and search the zombie deck, basically. Dum Dum Dugan is also a combat bystander. Each time you power up, one other superhero within range of 1 gains 1 power. Each time you devour an enemy or bystander, one other zombie hero within range of 1 may decrease their hunger by any amount. Claire Temple. During your turn, you may discard 2 heroic traits to heal 1 wound from yourself or superhero in your zone. And during your turn, you may discard 2 zombie traits to heal any amount of wounds from yourself or a zombie hero in your zone. Karen Page, during your turn, discard this card to gain any discarded heroic trait card. And during your turn, discard this card to gain any discarded zombie trait card. Ben Urich, each time enemies move into a zone with a bystander or superhero, you may spend 1 power to perform 1 free move action. Each time a bystander is revealed or leaves the zone with a zombie hero, you may perform 1 free move action, ignoring enemies. And the very last mini we have here is Happy Hogan. He's a combat bystander. When performing range attacks, you may spend 1 power to gain additional range, and when performing range attack, you may increase hunger to gain additional range. That is all the minis in the box. Hopefully you had fun watching this. I certainly had fun making this or learning about all the characters. Definitely Simon put a lot of effort getting all these characters to match their personality with their abilities and their powers. I think it's really cool. I like how Mystique, her hero draw card is hidden in the bystander card. I like how they have a card for Multiplication Man, and I love the sculpt and card art for Elektra. I think it's really wonderful. What's your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, have a great day and keep on adventuring out there.